Well, hello and welcome to the Informed Traveler Podcast, a weekly travel podcast where our goal is to help you become a more informed traveler. And I'm your host, Randy Sharman. Happy New Year and welcome to 2025. Certainly hope you enjoyed yourself over the holidays. Before we move forward into the new year, we're going to take a look back at the year it was in the travel industry. Like every year, it had its challenges. So in a few moments, travel expert Onanta Forbes will join me to review some of the stories from last year that still may impact the year ahead. Plus, we'll have a chat with the folks from GoMazatlan to see what new attractions and sites they have to offer. And Ken Stewart from Crowfoot Travel Solutions will be along with a few destination ideas and travel deals with our weekly roundup. But first, let's kick things off chatting with travel expert Onanta Forbes, who joins us each week to discuss some of the travel news and travel trends. You can follow her adventures on Instagram, Facebook, and X at Onanta Forbes. OnantaForbes.com is her website. Hi, Onanta.
Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year. Glad that you're back from your adventures in Antigua. Just in time to look back at some of the news stories of 2024 that I think still may impact the travel industry in 2025. We'll touch on a few. I'm sure there's some we're probably missing, but let's start with the airlines. I suppose if you're someone who's a nervous flyer, some of these stories didn't help at all, did they?
No, and it's different airlines that are affected. So it could be, you're nobody's immune from potential strikes or uh, cyber attacks or breakdowns. So yeah, travel is always interesting, and you always have to be aware that you have to be flexible.
Well, three stand out. WestJet, you mentioned, had a labor issue. We had Delta with their IT issue, and then there was Boeing that had some of their airplanes literally falling apart in the skies. So Boeing, I think, is still trying to recover from that. I think the financial hit on the airlines is the first thing that comes to mind. And whenever they take a financial hit, that means they've got to recover their costs.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, it's the consumer that may bear the brunt of that because, with increased fares that we are seeing throughout the year, definitely has affect the ability to travel and the ability maybe to travel as often as we wish. So with Boeing, it did start off with a door plug opening that blew open on an Alaska Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 9, so shortly after takeoff in Portland. And so the ensuing investigation temporarily grounded 137, or pardon me, 171 737. So that revealed deep issues with the assembly and quality control. And then with the effect in the aviation industry, it extended to airlines that said that the delayed Boeing deliveries had negatively affected their ability to expand their capacity and their network.
Mm-hmm.
And then Boeing had to face a strike of their factory workers. They went on a strike for 7 weeks this fall. So that cost the company an estimated $50 million per day. Can you imagine $50 million per day loss? That's per day, not even yearly, annually.
It just shows you how much money that Boeing generates on a single
I
day,
know.
right?
It has such a ripple effect in so many ways.
Uh, and a lot of these things are out of our control. I think that's the big thing. There really isn't much you can do about how Boeing operates their system or IT systems, at Delta, for example, or labor disputes. It's really out of your control. And another thing that's out of your control, and especially for us, is the weak Canadian dollar that affects us more than anybody. But it's bad news for Canadians. It's good news for people coming to visit here, though.
Oh, absolutely. Like we are a bargain when people come to Canada compared to their currency and such. So yeah, good for inbound tourism with regards to that respect. For us Canadians, it's hard to travel abroad in some respects. Definitely to the States, we see a major impact. And hopefully with the new administration coming in, we won't see more tariffs that could have caused further impact. going to Europe is expensive, with the euro and
Hmm.
the great the GB pound. So it's very much something you have to consider when you create your travel budget and how you're going to travel. So always look at, with your travel advisor, ways that you can economize. I always believe that booking far in advance is a good thought of mine to do, because then you're locked into your price and then you won't be
Hmm.
impacted maybe by potential fuel surcharges or just the exchange rate as well. So there's always that, and if you can, when you go with a source, see if you can book in Canadian dollars versus US or a different currency that will impact your spending capability.
Well, and to the credit of some suppliers, and I think Disney is one, they have special Canadian rates where they'll give you like 30% off or 25% off. So if you can look for deals like that, that always helps too.
Absolutely, yes. And cruise lines are also good with that.
Hmm.
Sometimes they have Canadian dollars at par even. And also they give you the opportunities to pre-purchase, whether it's your gratuities or your beverage package or your excursions. Sometimes you can do that in Canadian dollars as well. And again, it
Hmm.
helps you at the end of the day.
Another story we saw last year was this anti-tourism backlash. I think specifically the example was the water pistols in, I think it was Barcelona, where people were being squirted by water pistols and signage that was pointing people in the wrong direction or giving them misinformation. So I think we're probably going to see a little bit of that still in 2025.
Yeah, they were chanting tourists go home. So it is, and you're right, it did start in July, and like 3,000 Barcelona residents took to the city streets. Can you imagine that? So that impacted, future decisions. So the mayor this summer said that the city would ban short-term rentals till by the end of 2028. A similar measure was approved in Maui, which is a huge destination for Canadians. And then like in Florence, they approved a plan to ban key boxes on buildings. And we're seeing more and more countries such as Greece that are proposing taxes, such as on cruise ship passengers to
Hmm.
Santorini and Mykonos, as well as in Juneau, Alaska. Again, a huge destination during our spring, summer, fall months for Canadians to go to Alaska on a cruise. And then they're going to also call that it will limit 5 ships per day this season. And so that might be approved, coming up. But it does impact tourism has really taken off, especially after COVID. And I
Hmm.
think this is one of the ripple effects of that is that residents just don't want to see their town, even though they're getting revenue, they don't want to see their town destroyed or taken advantage or being disrespected. I think that's the biggest thing. As travelers, sometimes we don't respect where we're visiting, and I think that's a huge
Yes.
lesson.
Yeah, there's lessons for all of us to learn, and I think it's over tourism in a lot of areas. So, in some respects, like I say, I like not a tourism backlash where people are getting squirted by water bottles, but or water guns. But maybe it is a good thing that maybe look at other destinations. There's all kinds of other destinations that are willing to take your money. That's for sure.
Yes, and that probably a great topic that one day we'll chat about is the second choice destination. So instead of going to Rome, maybe go to Sardinia or to Sicily or somewhere else. But yeah, something we should chat about.
Yeah, for sure. And then the big story, of course, for Western Canada and Albertans was the Jasper wildfire. Jasper's back on its feet again and welcoming visitors. But people, I think, are leery maybe looking, especially in the summertime, at weather-related events, not necessarily wildfires, but we look at, droughts that affect river cruises in Europe and things like that.
Right. Again, totally out of our control, and something that we do have to factor in with regards to natural causes throughout the world. I guess that's where, as a travel professional, I always share with my guests that, take out insurance because that will help you if you do encounter a situation where you have to pivot to another destination, or you just really can't go to the destination of choice that you book because of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden a natural event that could occur, a natural disaster. But yeah, Jasper, a very popular vacation spot, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, one of our largest national parks in the Canadian Rockies. And it was very impactful. Like there's um, the survey, afterwards said that 37% of businesses reported that their properties were either completely or partially lost. And
Mm-hmm.
the revenue losses were up in the millions, like 4.5 million. Um, People were displaced, residents as well as staffing challenges, and yeah, you feel for people who live there, and their livelihood, their place of home is
Mm-hmm.
gone.
Mm-hmm. Uh, all these stories we're talking about sort of have a negative effect. There was some positive things, though. Travel increased overall to almost pre-pandemic levels. There was significant growth in the cruise industry. I always say cruisers will cruise, and
Yes.
a big increase in indigenous tourism. So lots of interest in that. There is also this phenomena of people going to events, and the name comes to mind: Taylor Swift. For one, there was the Olympics in the summertime, and other events that people go to. Well, the Taylor Swift effect. I just think about the money that was generated in her shows in Vancouver alone, and just about every city that she went to. The hotels were full, the restaurants were full. So the people that follow their favorite stars and sporting events certainly were active last year as well.
Right. It's like an eye-popping impact on the destinations. Her and like people like Beyonce, like they create memorable events that are driving travel trends. And I think, just alone they have documented approximately $1 billion in additional hotel revenue across the US, of course, Canada, Europe, and Asia this year. So that's amazing. And other big events is like the Paris Olympics. They set a record of 12.1 million tickets sold, and then the solar eclipse that was huge for us.
Hmm.
People going to Mazatlan, wanting to be there for that. And there's upcoming solar eclipses that people are already asking about. So it's amazing what one single event can increase the tourism dollars to that destination, which is a trend that people want to have experiences now versus maybe buying stuff.
I think so too. Yeah, people are looking for experiences, and that goes back to what we talked about, the increase in indigenous tourism, people wanting to experience that. So even cultural experiences, food experiences. Overall, people were traveling and enjoying themselves.
Oh yeah, it was good. It was nice to see that the comeback of travel after a few years of turmoil. And you're right, the big three cruise company, Carnival Corp, Royal Caribbean, and Norwegian Cruise Lines, have taken turns this past year, smashing records for booking volumes, pricing levels, consumer deposits. So it was amazing. And also, people they're noting are booking further out, like Norwegian. Their Black Friday offer put 2027 cruises on sale. So it
Hmm.
was massive, like, and you can see no slowdown because the ships made massive ship orders this year, and that includes the three I just mentioned, Disney, Viking, and so collectively they plan to book or build more than 40 ships in the next 12 years. So this is just ocean cruising. River cruising is also spectacularly growing leaps and bounds as well.
Well, and we have wave season coming up too. So, and back to your point about booking early, like if you can book a cruise to 2027, who knows what the price of a cruise is going to be in 2027? So, you're probably guaranteed some savings there.
Absolutely. And it's a very competitive market. So, it's always good to work with a travel advisor because they have the eye on what's going on a global level to help you make the right decision for you and your family and your friends.
Well, it is tempting, look ahead to 2027 and see, well, why not? What do you got to lose, right? You did deposit, it's refundable right up until I think
Absolutely.
90 days or 6 months out or something. So you really have nothing to lose.
Yeah, well, and it's always good to have something to look forward to, right?
That's what I
I
always
always,
say too.
yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
good stuff. I'm sure there's a few stories in there that we probably missed, but I think we touched on some of the main ones, and there'll be more stories in the coming year. So we'll have lots to talk about, I'm sure. Onanta Forbes is a travel expert. You can follow her adventures on Instagram, Facebook, and X at Onanta Forbes. OnantaForbes.com is her website. Thanks again, Onanta. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. All the best.
Well, Mazatlan has always been one of my favorite spots to visit in Mexico. There's so much to see and do, and it's been a while since I've been there, so time to get an update. And joining me now to give us that update is Maria Sosa. She is the Secretary of Tourism for the state of Sinaloa. The website GoMazatlan.com. Hola, Maria.
Hi, hola, Randy. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. We're going to talk about Mazatlan. I've been there a few times. In fact, I was just mentioning before we started that the last trip I took before the pandemic was to Mazatlan. So it's been a while. So tell me some of the new things that have taken place in the last, I guess it's about 5 years now.
Well, you have to come back, Randy, because right now we have so many new attractions. The newest one is actually called Farolesa, where you can enjoy a thrilling 1,240-meter zip line right over the sea. And actually, to take this adventure, you will have to climb the El Faro, which is the highest natural lighthouse in the world. Then you take it from up there and you end at the Observatorio Mazatlan, which is an ecotourism park where you can enjoy panoramic views and immerse yourself in a unique cultural experience. It's amazing over there. You have actually the view once you take the zip line of the entire Mazatlan Bay is amazing. And then once you are in the observatorio, there's actually a restaurant up there too with an incredible view. And then, right there, adjacent to the Observatorio Mazatlan is Mumba. It's a National Whale Museum. This immersive space offers fascinating insights into the world of marine life, from majestic whales to friendly dolphins, engaging activities for the whole family. And actually, right now, we are also offering some an ocean ride. Like it takes you actually to see real whales, which
Oh,
is
nice.
another amazing experience.
Mm-hmm.
We also have the Gran Aquarium Mazatlan, which is the largest aquarium in Latin America, and is dedicated to the Sea of Cortez. We have amazing marine life, and also the architecture of the aquarium. It's pretty amazing as well. And then if you want more like an exclusive retreat, you can visit Shekinah Beach Club. It's another new one where you can see culinary delight, expert mixology, holistic wellness offering. We have a temazcal there, a cenote as well. And to dive more into the cultural and historic part of it, you can also explore pueblos señoriales, which are small towns around or very close to the city. For example, La Noria is only 40 minutes away. El Quelite is only 60 minutes away. And these are charming towns that have a magical landscape, lovely architecture, very Mexican, very authentic. And of course, you can experience unforgettable flavors right from the hands of the cook. Well, like very authentic handmade tortillas and all of this part that I think tourists really want to experience, but being not only in Mazatlan, but also in Mexico, no? And of course, we have our Centro Histórico, which is the colonial part or the colonial the historical center here in Mazatlan, and well, with those charming streets as well, rich colonial history, and we have a lot of French style buildings. The Angelo Peralta Theater is amazing. The cathedral as well. There are so many things. And of course, we have the beautiful ocean, the sun, and all of that, like beach and the beach destinations have. But I think one of the things that really make us unique is that, as we say, it's a colonial city on the beach. And that's what really makes us very unique and different.
Well, you touched on a lot of things, and I'll go back to when you started with the zip line at the lighthouse. I have hiked up the trail to the, and it's not really a trail; it's a walk up the lighthouse. It is a hike, but you can stop and take breaks, and the view is really spectacular. I have some nice images about of that too to remind myself of going to Mazatlan. So yes, it is spectacular up at the lighthouse, and some of the things that I did enjoy about Mazatlan that you mentioned too is the historical center, and exploring some of the other smaller communities around Mazatlan. So yeah, it's not just Mazatlan itself; it's the surrounding area, and of course, when you talk about Mazatlan, it's the beaches and the beautiful weather, and the sunsets are amazing.
Oh yes, how did I forget that? Sunsets are spectacular.
Because you see it every day, you forget about it, right?
Yes, no, and even if we live here, it is really a blessing. I walk out from the office here, where you are always welcome, of course, and I'm like, oh my God, what a gift of nature, no? With these spectacular sunsets that we have, like year long. Honestly, they're amazing.
One of the things that we did last time we were there, though, was take a city tour. And I think that really helps, because there is so much to do in Mazatlan that if you're only there for a week or so, you might miss out on something that you wanted to see. So if you take a city tour, it touches on all the things that you talked about, and then maybe you can go back and explore those areas further, right?
Exactly. That's a great recommendation, Randy. I think we all should do it in any city we go and visit. Is actually take a city tour. Then you can identify what you like best or what do you want to explore further. And then you just take a pulmonía, which I'm sorry, you saw one of those, that ride and go back to that place you like. Did you ride a pulmonía or an origa when you came?
Yes, that's funny, because I wrote on my notes here, I said the things that I liked, and taking a ride in a pulmonía was in there as well.
Yes. And I was also going to talk about astronomy and how you can really eat in what we call carreta, in a corner of seafood, just fresh ceviche. I probably you try one of these ones, like seafood cut that they fish, for example, or shrimp, and they make ceviche with a salsa and like cucumber, lime, pepino, tomato. This is very Mazatleco as well. So you can have that in a corner, or you can have one tacos, or you can also dine on a delicious and more higher end, if you want to call it that way, like have a culinary experience.
Well, yeah, there's certainly lots of options, that is for sure, no matter what you like. The freshness, as you mentioned, of the seafood, and even of the vegetables, like tomatoes and all the other vegetables you can get, which brings me to the marketplace that people can go to and get an idea what it's like to live like a local.
Exactly. Yes. You touch. I was thinking, when I was mentioning that, I was thinking about the Mercado Pino Suarez, the market. And yeah, people would like to experience, just like we do, the locals, go and buy like fresh fruit, vegetables, everyone. You know that there are around 14,000 people that go into the market every single day here. And into that market, the one that is in downtown. So it's a nice, beautiful. It's a beautiful plus market, like very authentic. Well, we go and buy chicken, fish, and everything is, as we said, really fresh. And then it's a another way to experience like we locals do.
Well, and we'd be missing out if we didn't talk about the boardwalk. Just a stroll along the boardwalk, looking at the ocean, getting the beautiful views. That's part of the magic of Mazatlan as well.
Exactly. The boardwalk is the second largest one in the world. You can walk, you can bike. Actually, yesterday, it's a regular Sunday for us, and I went biking with my son, 3-year-old son, and my husband. It was a very nice ride. Actually, it was the very first time we rode with our son, and it's beautiful. The scenery of the entire boardwalk is beautiful.
It's
21 kilometers of what we call the Malecon, which is a boardwalk. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I was trying to remember the name, the Malecon. Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. So tell me about if no one's ever been, like I've been, so we're kind of talking like we know what we're talking about. What for someone who hasn't been to Mazatlan, and you touched on all those things that they can see or do. I guess, if you're planning a trip, the best thing to go would be go to your website and get an idea, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, please visit our website, GoMazatlan.com. You can get an idea, and also, you can contact us through there if you have any questions. We'll be happy to get back to you as soon as possible. So you get to see all of the events, experiences that we have. You can also check availability in hotels, the recommended ones, and of course some of the attractions that we just talked about. So we have everything in there, like brochures, contact us link, and also the social media links to our sites.
And getting there also is easier now. You have the usual flights, Air Canada, WestJet from Canada, and all the American flights. But now you have even more options with nonstop flights that Sunwing has seasonally that they've launched, about a month ago now.
Yeah, exactly. So actually right now we have 9 flights coming from Canada. And in this season we normally do. And as you said, that Sanguine one, it just came back.
Just a few more things that remind me of the fun things to see in Mazatlan. The cliff divers is one that's from your website. I'm just looking on here that reminded me to watch some of those cliff divers is amazing. The islands that you can see in just about every photo of Mazatlan, you can go explore those with tours. The one thing I didn't do that I'd love to do next time is go see a baseball game. The stadium there looks amazing.
Yeah, we have the 3 islands, which are beautiful, and you can take a sunset tour or going just a day to the islands. You can also take a boat through the bay that we will then and look at the sea lions, for example. Then stop at in the middle one in the island. In the islands, and we also have a Stone Island. I don't know if you went to that one, where there are a lot of restaurants, very authentic ones, and then you can ride the bananas, ATVs, etc. And right now we have the baseball season, which actually the Venados, which is our team, won the playoffs. So we're doing the playoffs, and we have 8 more games coming, yes, and this season, which is very exciting for us, and it's an amazing stadium, really. And then now we have a soccer stadium too. We have our own team right now from Mazatlan, and the league here, from Mexico City, Monterrey, everyone plays here as well, and it's nice. Very filled in, very, very full.
No matter what you enjoy, Mazatlan's got something for you. I know it's an overused statement, I think, something for everyone, but really if you're a sports fan, if you just want to lay on a beach, if you're a culinary foodie, if you're an adventurer, it's all there. So there's a lot of things to see and do in Mazatlan.
Exactly, yes. So we have something for everyone, just as they say, yes.
So tell me about some of the events that might be coming up in the coming months.
Oh, yes. Well, the one that we have around the corner is the International Carnival, which is in February 27th through March 4th. So you can start booking for this carnival, which you will experience. We have concerts throughout these dates. You can immerse into the tradition of his carnival. We have a parade on Sunday. It's a traditional parade that we have, which is spectacular, which is actually on the boardwalk, that street, which that beautiful view. And it's an unexpected fireworks, endless fun. The historical center is full of people, with the music, and it's an amazing event. So please, you are all. I invite you to come and enjoy this party that make us unique. As Los Mazatlecos, we love it, and I am sure you will do as well.
Of course, everyone loves a carnival, especially all the colors and the dresses and the sights and the sounds. Anything else? Any other festivals or parties coming up?
Yes, we have the Day of the Music Festival. It is held in spring. Also, the International Motorcycle Party is an Easter week. Normally, we're also having different kind of like concerts. Actually right now during what we call like the winter season, we have the art walk, which is in the historical center. We have it like every 2 weeks or something like that, where people walk along the historical center, and you can visit and see history and art, just like the word says, with music and everything. Is people really love that. As we said, we also talk about the Mexican Pacific League, which is are the games of the stadium. And actually, we recently had the International Pacific Marathon and Triathlon. We had it in November this year. Over 7,000 people came to the marathon. We have people coming from all over the world, from Vienna, Austria, of course, Canadians, United States, all over Mexico, and locals, of course. So we have events throughout the year, Randy. That's pretty much it. So you just look, when are you coming? And then we'll tell you what kind of event you can visit. But what you cannot miss right now, which is the next one coming, is the International Carnival. So put it on your calendar, February 27th through March 4th. And we are waiting everyone here, where we can't wait to welcome all Canadians, friends, and everyone, of course.
Maria Sosa is the Secretary of Tourism for GoMazatlan. GoMazatlan.com is where you can find all the information and learn more about all the things that we are chatting about. It was fun to chat with you, Maria. Muchos gracias.
Thank you, Randy. Gracias a ti.
This is the Informed Traveler podcast. I'm Randy Sharman. Just want to remind you of our website, theinformedtraveler.org. That's where you can find our contact page if you have any questions or comments about the podcast. You could also email me, too, with any questions you might have. My email address is randy@theinformedtraveler.org. And if you want to get up-to-date travel info through the week or just see a few amusing travel stories and links, you can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/informedtraveler, on Instagram at Informed Traveler, or on X at Informed Traveler. So now, as always, we'd like to end the show with our weekly roundup, and joining us to do that is Ken Stewart from Crowfoot Travel Solutions. Good day, sir, and Happy New Year.
Hey, hello, Randy. Hello, everyone. And again, Happy New Year. It's still early enough in the year that I think we can say that to each other. Hopefully this one's going to be just as good or even better than 2024. It was a really good year. I can't complain too much.
Nice. Well, we're still here, so that counts.
Exactly. And again, we say this a lot, but again, it's the beginning of the year, so more and more people are still doing beach vacations and flight to other destinations coming up. So whether you're traveling now or you're planning on booking a trip later on in the year, go check your passports today and all your other important items or documents like your PR card, your Nexus card that you're going to need to use to travel, and make sure they are valid. and often passport, depending on where you're going, especially for going to Europe or some of these different countries and things like that. They have to be valid for a minimum of 6 months after your return travel date. So again, keep that in mind. And many of the countries or destinations as well may require proof of medical insurance to enter those countries. So, a couple of little tips to write down, and just like I say, don't leave it. Go check. Don't wait until you're too close to your travel dates to find out that you have an issue, and might mess up your plans.
You don't want to do that.
No.
You want to have all your ducks in a row so you can have a nice, easy, smooth vacation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of those people going to the sun destinations, reminder for travel to Cancun, the visit tax has been in place since 2022, but the new president is starting programs to make sure that they're checking for tourists arriving. Lately, my clients have been asked for it that have gone in the last month or so. So you're required to have the QR code upon your arrival in Cancun. And there's two options for paying. You're getting your QR code online. And again, just really make sure that you've got the right site, because there are a couple of other ones out there that aren't, how do we say, the right sites. Again, because they look just like they are, but there is one for the actual Mexican government site. And the alternative, and again, a popular one, is Travel Core with a K. It's a Canadian company, and they're authorized to be able to support the tax and allow you to get that online with them. So if you need help in finding it, even if you haven't booked for us, don't be afraid. Give us a call, and we'll send those links out to you. And just a reminder that Cancun is the only destination or airport in Mexico that it's required to travel to. All the rest of them.
Now, is it? I think I asked this last time. Is it Cancun or is it state of Quintana Roo? Because Tulum has their airport open and they accept international flights as well.
Yeah, you are correct, and I'll have to update that on my little notes here to make sure that when we're talking about it, it's the state of Quintana Roo. So Cancun, and again, the new Tulum airport as well, that WestJet and some of the airlines are flying into will require the tax.
Cool. Okay.
Just a reminder, too, when we're talking about things like this, a lot of the popular destinations that we travel to, especially for sun, Jamaica, Cuba, the Dominican Republic, they all have their own online immigration requirements. Again, really easy sites to find. And again, you need to do those usually within 48, 72 hours before you arrive to make sure you're not going to have any issues clearing customs and anything like that. And again, we supply those links to our clients. And again, even if you haven't booked, give us a call. I don't have any problems giving you guys those links so that you can get yourself looked after and make sure that you have a seamless arrival into your country for your vacation.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of international countries also have visas or ETA requirements. Again, so make sure you're checking, and this is more, like I say, Asia and sometimes in Europe. But again, one that's really popped up, and we keep reminding everybody, so if you've booked your own, or if you have a flight to or through somewhere in the United Kingdom, and you're going to be traveling after January 8th, so that's next week, make sure to check and apply for the ETA electronic travel authorization. You have to have that to enter the country, or even if you're just doing a connection in, say, London, you need that ETA. And the application's open back on November 27th and 24th for Canadians. And again, easy to find online link, or give us a shout, and we'll send it to you.
Does that cost anything?
No.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So even if you're flying to, I don't know, Spain or something through London, you still have to have that.
You still have to have the visa, correct.
Yeah.
You got it.
Okay. Good.
Exodus Adventure Tours, another of our small group preferred partners, offering tours around the world. They're starting out their 2025 with a $350 a person off select 2025 tours. So give us a call and we can see if there's one out there for you. And again, speaking of Britain, we've got Britain, Ireland, and or Iceland. If they've been on your travel radar, they're coming up this year. CI Tours needs to be the one to help you start your 2025 with their companion flies free on select tours traveling from June to August. So June, July, and August, if those months are going to work for you. It's a great deal, especially when airfares are usually expensive during that time of year. So again, use that free call, reach out to us.
That's like the peak time for Ireland, Britain, Iceland is those months. So take advantage of that free airfare.
Exactly. Viking Cruises with River and Ocean Expedition Options. Ship a date itinerary for you. We've got river cruises in Europe. Got you covered. Sailing in Europe all year long now. Asia, again, got you covered. Exotics like Egypt. Got you covered. Want to do a little bit closer to home, maybe? We've got the Mississippi or the Great Lakes here in North America. Got you covered. And all kinds of itineraries from 7 to 8 days to 22 days. And if you have the time, 138 days to travel around the world on their Ocean World Cruise. So for the new year, and they're coming out with River Ocean Expedition Journeys. New bookings during the whole month of January. You're going to get all-inclusive voyages starting at $1,999, so $1,999 a person. And then we're also going to throw in some free airfare on select departures, all for only a $25 deposit. And then you get to choose one more. Either you can, if you sailed with them before, they're going to give you a double guest discount, or you can pick the free Silver Spirits beverage package.
Nice.
And that includes the gratuities on those as well. So, or you can choose $1,000 shipboard credit per couple to spend how you want.
Very nice. Are we into wave season now?
Pretty soon. I haven't seen I'm not sure what the official start date. I know February for sure. But I think we mentioned last week, Colin and a couple other ones have started a pre-wave sale.
Okay.
But
I wasn't sure.
You can see the wave coming. And wave season is where all the cruise lines are throwing out all kinds of kind of cool specials and things like that. So again, if cruise is on your radar, as we say, give us a call and let us know what you're thinking of or whatever, and then we can keep an eye on it together and get out to you if you don't see it before we do.
Exactly.
Scenic River Cruises, love them. Save 30% and up to another $1,000 a couple on select dates and sailings. And this includes all the sailings in Europe and even the ones over in Asia on the Mekong and things like that. So that would be really, really cool. Princess Cruises starting their 2025 year, 40% off. Free room upgrades, all for a $99 deposit. And if you've got third and fourth guests, whether it be the kids or you're bringing another person along with you on select voyages, they're free. So they've got adventures around the globe, and they've got a lot of sailings to choose from, especially for great for couples, families, or maybe even start your own group. Don't need a lot. Start a group.
Yeah. Well, we talk a lot about generational travel, so there's a chance for the grandparents to take the grandkids, maybe if the third and fourth guests are free.
Yep, you got her. And speaking of who doesn't like free. Each week we get a lot of people joining our free travel club online, getting all those extra perks and offers. A lot of times, in addition to the supplier's best offers and sales, so a lot of times when these guys have sales on, these are extras that you can add to that. So you can double dip when you're booking through our office as the official Travel Savers affiliate here in Calgary. And they have monthly specials and quarterly specials, and new ones just started this month in January. So if you're going to book, check it out. Sign yourself up. It's free. You can unsubscribe at any time if it's not for you, and then use that free phone call. You never know what you're doing.
Got nothing to lose. Speaking of nothing to lose, what's that number for that free phone call?
403-241-7140 if you're in Calgary. And if you're outside Calgary, you can call us toll free, 1-877-511-5511. Then you too can relax. It's all taken care of.
Indeed, sir.
Have a great week, everyone.
And that is our show for this week. If you have comments or questions, we'd love to hear from you. If you have a show idea, send that along as well. My email is randy@theinformedtraveler.org. And if you like what you heard, tell a friend. You can check out our website too at theinformedtraveler.org. In the meantime, thanks for listening, travel safe, and be an informed traveler.